Alright, so I'm just peeking in at the Law of Attraction, let me rephrase it, LOA by Neville Goddard, the home of Manifesting Mastery, something like that. Our Facebook group. Because I made up the group, I made up Manifesting Mastery course. Right? Neville made up a lot of stuff too. What are you making up? You see, here's the fun thing, guys. Linda puts up a post. She lives in a country without a prime minister. I guess they had an election. I have no idea what's going on there. By the way, I have no idea what's going on in the U.S. All I know is I look at the current state of affairs, and it's like, I've looked at the current state of affairs for 46 years, since I was 10 years old. It's divine comedy for the most part. Here in Australia, we're looking at re-electing Dictator Dan according to the exit polls and all that bullshit. Here's the thing, guys. You can struggle or you can soar. You can settle for the facts of the world, or else you can do something. You know what happened in 1927? One of my favorite books, Bill Bryson wrote. It's called either One Summer or 1927 or something like that. His books have different titles in different parts of the world. It's interesting because according to Bill, his books are called one thing in the UK, something else in the US, and we live in Australia. I'd imagine the fun. Because, you know, we're not the UK or the US, even though we are apparently subject to the Queen or the King now, something like that. What are you making up? We've made up, I don't know, 2.8 million listens to the podcast. Thanks for listening. Somewhere around 1.5 million video views. Thanks for watching. Over 1,000 articles and stuff on the main website. We've got like a dozen websites around that one. Thanks for reading. But what are you making up? I got diagnosed with PTSD when I was 23. I got literally the shit kicked out of me. When you get beat to death, that's what happens. I discovered this stuff again. Thank God. Coffee time. So here's what's cool, gang. I really want you to get this. What are you making up? So I love Bill Bryson's book, 1927, because it's really about the 1920s. It focuses on the year 1927, but it's about the 1920s. In other words, it's about what happened 100 years ago. 100 years ago, you know what happened? There was a loogie. You know what happened 100 years ago? There was a war. Then there was another war. There were assassinations. There were world leaders that sucked. There were world leaders that were dictators. In some ways, there's always going to be the same shit, the same shit, the same shit, the same shit, the same shit that you can use for compost for your garden. But a lot of people are just going to swim in the shit, and they're going to say, I need someone to pull the plug. What you got to do is buy the pearl. You've got a choice. You can buy politics or you can buy the pearl of great price. I bought politics for a little while. I blamed Dan the man for my suffering. And I was suffering when I wasn't going to the pool. And then one day I woke up. I swear to God, I've said this dozens of times now on the podcast and on the show. My buddy and I were talking about taking a walk. Let me give you the background. Right? The politician here said when we get up to 80%, everyone will be free. And then we got up to 90%, getting the jabby thing. And he says, no, we're not going to play that game. We're going to keep anyone who's not vaccinated can't go to the pool, can't get a haircut, isn't allowed to go out to eat, can't get a massage. Radio. Most of the population's out. A percentage of us weren't. And I got pissed. And I blamed him. And this is important because Neville Goddard says it any time you can slip into a shit state. Neville did it. He had a tooth that lasted 12 years. He believed in his dentist. He believed in his dentist's diagnosis. He slipped. Now, I know some people are going to go, I thought I had the perfect teacher. I got to go goodbye. You're 100% human. You're 100% divine. The question is, what are you giving life to? As a human, you will enjoy the fruits of your garden. As divinity, you have desires. If your desire is to just complain about the politicians, to complain about the conspiracy, to complain, you're abusing yourself. Neville Goddard taught congratulatory conversations. If you're in a shit state, you're going to have inner arguments. If you're in a lovely state, you're going to have something far more lovely than the sound of music. And you won't be chasing it, having to use mood music. By the way, I love music. My buddy Terry Morris makes some awesome music. Just awesome music. But I'm not into brainwave recordings. You don't need them. They might be enjoyable like whiskey, but whiskey doesn't cause you to manifest anything, does it? See, I enjoy good single malt. 100 years ago, Prohibition was in the States. Right? About 100 years ago, give or take. They banned all liquor. And the only thing that happened there was the corrupt got more corrupt. The corrupt made some damn good money. And all the good that was supposed to come from the banning of liquor, rightio. See, here's the thing, guys. You can fall for the facts. You can blame shit on you can blame shit on liquor. You can blame it on all kind of things. But there's only one thing you're called to do, and that's to lift others up. Neville Goddard said, "You will not pass a seeming other without lifting them up." If you honestly believe. And here's what he meant by that, as far as I can tell. It doesn't mean the seeming other doesn't exist. It's that when I look at Victoria, what am I imagining about her? When I get your email, what am I imagining about you? That's my experience of you. And I can imagine you soaring, and you can choose whether to struggle or soar. This goes back to another post in the group. But the thing is, some people are incapable of imagining soaring. See, I'm capable of imagining you soaring because I first imagined me soaring. If I was trying to imagine you as a millionaire but didn't believe being a millionaire was possible, then, yeah, it'd be for shit, wouldn't it? You see, I'm into real world results. I'm into the real world. And here's the thing. In the real physical world, because the real physical world is not an illusion, you can skin your knee. I suggest you don't walk out in front of a bus to prove this works. Getting some gold? Catching the attitude? Notice Neville didn't walk around saying, "It is an illusion, I will walk out in front of a bus." You notice Abdul didn't go, "I'm just going to imagine going to the opera because I'm a black man." Right? No. Ab went to the real opera, had a real good time. He drank real rum. He told Neville, "What, do you expect this to last me for a while?" Neville gave him, I think, 2 bottles. Boom, they were gone. Ab enjoyed them. You came here to enjoy. Consciousness is the only reality. You are aware of, you are conscious of the physical and the imaginal. The imaginal leads. Are you truly conscious of that? Bill Bryson, 1927, great book. I can hear his voice, which means I'll probably end up turning it on while I do some work, because I love the stories of history. Because the stories of history teach me things. They remind me. The dumb shit happened before, the dumb shit will happen again. I have no interest in the dumb shit. What I have interest in is you. I don't care about the news in the world. I want to know what's new about you. What are you giving life to right now? Alright, crass commercial. If you haven't done it yet, I honest to God don't know what to tell you. ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. 90-day program, $97. It's $1 a day. And I know most of the reasons why people don't do it are, well, I want to see what's happening in the news, and I don't know where I'll be in 90 days. And if it doesn't work, then nothing will ever work for me, so I'm not going to do it, so I don't want to find out that it doesn't work. Alright. Thing about that. By the way, that is a lot of people's inner process. Right? They're waiting for the news to work itself out so they can make a change in their experience. Rightio. Or they're going, "I'm not going to swing the bat, because if I swing the bat and hit the ball and the ball don't go anywhere, then I'll lose faith in the bat." You see, you don't have to lose faith in the bat because you didn't swing it. You just need to start having faith in you. Neville Goddard said your faith in God is measured by your confidence in yourself. That's on my coffee cup. It's right in front of me here. You get why? Every day I get to explore that. So, manifestingmasterycourse.com, and one more goodie for you, the Pearl Power Pack. PearlPowerPack.com. 21,237 emails. Right? Prove this works. Prove that there are areas and aspects of your life where you can sell the pearl at any time. Which means there are areas and aspects of your life where you can buy the pearl at any time. So here's what happened, guys. I was meeting my buddy to walk the dogs the next day. And I said, let's meet at the pool. We'll walk the dogs from the pool. We'll park in the pool parking lot. I wasn't allowed to go to the pool because I was one of the great unwashed. Those people who decided that thing that they mandated wasn't for me. So I got punished. I wasn't allowed to go to the pool for like 7 or 9 extra months. It's like, that's all right. And I blamed Dan, the dictator. And then, in that moment, I woke up. And I decided, I revised my imagined life to parking at the pool to walk the dogs, to parking at the pool, getting out my pool noodles, walking into the pool, seeing my people, doing what I do, my kung fu and my Edo Portal goodies. 3 hours later, they announced that we could go back. They were dropping all the bullshit. You see, they did it for their reasons. They did it because an election was coming up. That was back in April. Originally, they said they weren't going to do it till November. That's right now. That's months later. But for some reason, they changed their mind. They had their reasons, but I can tell you what the one cause is. My imaginal act. I stopped settling. It's time. Stop settling. See ya.